Guys, Lisa here with Equine Sewing and More. I'm going to show you today how to make this super cute spandex tail bag. Super easy 5-minute project. I think the hardest part about these little tail bags here is actually going and picking out your fabric for what you want. This I actually purchased at Joann's. I got it on sale. Spandex fabric can get spendy, so they have some stuff out there on sale. Get the Joann app if you don't have it yet, and you can get huge discounts on this stuff. Sewing, check that out. That's going to help you. The jersey spandex fabric is really cute too. I actually have some of that, and some of that stuff is you can find on sale too as well. What I have here is a paper pattern, and I got this from measuring the top of Baron's tail from the top all the way down to the bottom of this tail. This looks a little big, but if you have a horse with a really thick tail, this is gonna work perfect. This is a pretty good size for it. This template I used to make this tail bag here. And you'll notice how it kind of comes in a little bit. So it's pretty much a really good size for the tail bag. Easy to put your hand in there. I like to this is the way I put a tail bag on my horses here, is I have it flipped inside out, grab their tail, flip it back out, and the tail will come through. So it's pretty wide. I use 1.5 inch seam allowance. If you're new to that, what I do is I just use the edge of my foot on my sewing machine, and it turns out like this, and it looks super cute. So you don't have to download the PDF for that. I'll try to get one put out there for it. I don't know if I can get it on there within the next couple of days or not. I'll try, but it truly kind of looks like a great big wine bottle, beer bottle. You can get that round shape, you know, then you're good to go, because then down at the bottom it's just round and about the same thing. So you can always, you know, fold that in half once you got the one side of it, and cut out the other side, you know, keeping your paper folded in half, and then you'll get that. So I just put like 3 pieces of paper together. I have 1, 2, 3 pieces together that I tape together to get my template, and that's all I use. You can also use some cardboard. So there's plastic out there you can get at Joann's too. So, but that's what I used for my template. Worked out really good. I saved some money making my own tail bags. Fun. So let's do it. Okay, so because the tail bag is a little bit big, if you've actually printed it out, you've taped your pieces together, you're gonna find that it's pretty long. So it's okay too if you cut with scissors, a little bit easier if you have a rotary cutter and a cutting mat. But if you don't, that's okay. If you have gotten your fabric and you want to put, they call this the pretty side, you always face the pieces together. So to cut out your 2 pieces that you're gonna need, just fold your fabric over, lining them up as nicely as you can. You'll find that the spandex too is a little bit slippery. It's a little bit difficult to work with if you've never worked with it before. It takes a little bit to get used to it, but you will, especially if you make quite a few of them. So if you have a directional fabric too, you just kind of want to remember that you're going to put your fabric in the direction that you want it to be facing on the outside of the tail bag. So if there's face on the fabric, make sure the face is facing upward and the face is not facing down. Okay, so just get your fabric laying out on your table where we're going to put it, and let's pin it down to the fabric. It'll help keep it still when you're cutting it. start cutting with my rotary cutter. Okay, so what I've done is I've laid this flat out on the table, and the best way to kind of keep it in together where you've already cut it out, just take the pins out and then place the pen directly back into it, and that way when you're sewing it together it stays really it'll stay put really good, because this material, it's slick, it's gonna move around on you. See one right there. All right, let's go ahead and sew it together. So I tried to get you guys as close as I can so you can kind of see what I'm doing here. So I've left those pins in there like I've said, and we're gonna start sewing right here. You use your foot as a guide. I have a beige color thread in here. You can coordinate, make it blue if you're really worried about it standing out too much with the white. I'm gonna go ahead and just stick with this beige color that I have in here. Not too worried about it really. It's just gonna go on my horse's tail. So let's go ahead and start sewing this. All right, and we're gonna do a zigzag on this. We'll allow the fabric to stretch. So if the horse is getting up, steps on the tail, it'll stretch instead of breaking your thread in half. So here we go. I'm just gonna take my time here, especially if it's the first time sewing it. Try not to pull on your fabric as you're sewing it. So when you're done sewing that, before you flip it inside out, just put your hand inside and work your hand around the bottom and make sure that your stitches are all in there. So mine actually look pretty good. I think my seam allowance is in there pretty far. So the nice thing about using the spandex fabric is it's not going to fray on the ends, so don't worry about going back and like folding this over and sewing it down. It's not going to fray. So if I pull on that, you can kind of see that it's not fraying on the ends. So I'm gonna go back in there and check my stitching, make sure I got it as good as it needs to be. Just kind of make sure that it's all together. Looks pretty good. All right, pretty cute. Just push it out a little bit. There we go. Super cute. So only takes a total of 5 minutes, and it's a fun little sewing project when you're first getting started and you want to make your own wool towel bags. Looks pretty good. So I hope that you enjoyed the tutorial, and thanks for watching. I appreciate it. So I have some more fun tutorials coming up. I'm going to come up with the pattern to go ahead and make a bridal bag. I need one of those, and I thought it would be a fun one to actually do, make a video. I want to do a desk cover for my saddle, so I hope that you guys join me for those. I actually have a tutorial coming up for your own pommel pouch bag, so that's going to be put on there pretty soon too. So hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you guys next time.